What comes to mind when I say the word brand? For many, it's the brand logo, right? It's a visual graphic of a brand that you remember a brand by. But actually, your brand is not just a logo, and your logo is not a brand. But there's a lot of confusion about this because many times when business owners think, okay, I need a brand, they just go to designer and say, hey, develop an identity for me, a brand identity, I need a logo, I need colors, and that's it, right? But then you're kind of missing out on the power of a brand because your brand is way more powerful than a logo. In this video, we will talk about exactly that. What are the differences between a brand and a logo? Why a brand is way more powerful, and what is the best way to design a brand, and what is the best way to design a logo. So now let's look at the difference between a brand and a logo and why a brand is so much more powerful. What makes a brand? What is a brand? A brand is essentially everything about you and your business. It's the offer you make, it's the promise that you tell your customer that, hey, this is how I'm going to help you. This is my offer with which you will get this benefit. It is what makes you unique. What is so unique about that offer? Why should I choose you? Why are you the expert on this? What are your values? What do you stand for? What do you believe in that can make your audience connect with you? What's your mission? What do you plan to achieve in the world? What's your purpose? Why did you even launch this business and this brand? That's all of it. All of it is your brand, right? And people connect to the brand. People trust the brand. It sounds strange, right? Because a brand is very intangible. It's not something that you can experience with your senses. It's not something that you can touch, look, feel, smell. No. It is very intangible, the concept of a brand. But that is what people connect to. What makes a logo? What is a logo? A logo is actually the visual representation of that brand. So, you take all the brand essence, capture it up into a tiny little graphic, and that's your logo. A logo is powerful in the sense that a person, your audience can remember your logo, but a brand is what they connect to. They will buy your products and services because of your brand. They will not buy it because of your logo. They might remember it because of your logo, but they're not going to buy from you because of that. They're going to buy from you because of the way you make them feel, because of the experience they get with you, because of the trust they have in you. And all of that is the brand. And that is why a brand is so much more powerful than a logo. Now that we know what are the difference between a brand and a logo, let's take a look at a few examples. Now, I'm going to use an example which is very common, very cliche, but I'm going to use it anyway because it's a very good example and a way to understand the difference between a brand and a logo. So, Nike. Now, Nike started as a footwear brand. They made shoes. Well, they started as a footwear business. And eventually, at some point, just like a lot of businesses moved from being just a business to being a brand, Nike made the shift as well. And then it became something way bigger than just shoes. It became about inspiration, encouragement, motivation, telling you, hey, if you're a body, you're an athlete, so just do it, just go for it, just get it, So it's not just in sports, it's just generally challenge yourself and go and get what you want, right? So they summed all of that up in just do it. And then all of that got summed up in their logo, in the swoosh. What does a swoosh stand for? Of course, it's dynamic, it's fast-paced, it's movement, right? A lot of things that are related to sports and to footwear, well, to general to being athletes, let's say. But also it is like a tick mark, right? It's a check mark. So it's just do it, achieve it, right? That it's done, right? So now if you think that, if you have a footwear brand and you're selling shoes and you go to a designer and say, hey, I have a footwear brand, can you make me a logo? He will probably come up or she will probably come up with something related to shoes or sneakers or whatever, or running, right? But see how the brand can go from just selling products to much bigger, and then that is captured in a logo like the swoosh, right? So that's how a logo comes from a brand and how a logo is different from a brand. Now let's look at another example, which I'm sure you have experience with as well, which is Amazon. Now, Amazon stands for a few things, but at the heart of it, at the core of it, it stands for helping customers. It's all about the customer. It's about helping the customer finding the right product, making it easy for them to buy it, then, being easy to return it. So all of it is about the customer. So they have a very simple logo with, Amazon written. And the logo is basically a line that goes from A of the Amazon to the Z, Amazon. So if we have everything from A to Z that you need, and it also is like a smile, which shows the customer satisfaction, the feeling that you get when you actually shop with Amazon. So that's how you get a brand. Make sure you know what it stands for, you define it, and then you translate that into a logo. So now that we have seen what's the difference between a brand and a logo, and a few examples of how they're different, let's look at the best way to develop a brand and develop a logo. To develop a brand, a lot of the work is research. So understanding your audience, understanding your market, like who are your competitors, what gap are you trying to fill, and creating a buyer persona and really understanding that audience in detail. So for example, if you say your audience is 35 to 45, people who are interested in health and fitness, then really understand their challenges. What are they suffering from now and where do they want to reach, right? What are their blocking points? Why can't they reach their goal by themselves? How can you help them, right? So understanding your audience in detail is a very important part of developing a brand. And then of course, look at your story. Why did you develop your brand? What do you, aim to achieve? What's your mission? How do you want to help people? Who do you want to help exactly, right? What is your long-term vision? So capture all of that in your brand story and messaging, and now you take that to your designer and work with your designer to say what is the best way to reflect all that brand concepts in a tangible logo. So what colors would be the best? What font would be the best? What design elements would be great? Because you have to remember that a process of creating a logo sounds like a lot of fun, right? It's creativity, it's design, it's choosing colors, but it is not just design and creativity, it is strategic design and creativity, because the logo has a job to reflect your brand. Do the brand first, then strategically develop the logo. And that's a difference in the process of how you create a brand and how you create a logo. Hope this video helped you. I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, questions. And if you liked it, don't forget to share it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.